You feel, I mean, there were a lot of times over the last couple of years that, media asked you over and over again, are you the legitimate champion? Do you feel like the legitimate champion? And you said yes, because he removed himself from the equation and you were winning fights. Do you feel like the real champion now?
Man, Brett, I've done a couple interviews now, and this is the first time someone's even asked me that. So it's kind of a weird thing, because people around me and my friends, they want to tell me that nothing has changed because if he was not fighting completely clean, it wasn't a fight. But I was there. I fought, so for me it kind of sucks, so in my mind it's like I feel like I lost the competition. But if it was an unfair competition, then I probably should not have been in that competition anyway.
So you said what you said on Instagram today, and you told people to lay off of it, but it sounds like, when you said earlier that for him, losing to you was not an option, like that infers to me that you believe he was cheating. At the end of the day, ultimately, you do think he was cheating.
I think he has the right to defend himself, but if we've been scheduled, like when we were supposed to fight 3 times, Brett, again, like I gotta be careful, man. I don't like to kick people when they're down. Like and that's what the Instagram thing is about, because there are things that are way bigger than fighting, and we gotta be careful to pile on people when they're at their lowest, man. We really do. Lay off this guy, let him have his day. But if we fought 3 times, Brett, and I know that you're very aware of this, we fought 3 times, and we've been at the arena to fight 3 times, 82, 200, and 214. And every time we've been in those situations, he has failed for something. How can they expect me to not think that something was going on?
Yeah. Wow. So you just get a sense of where Cormier's at, and he's reinstated as the champion. He accepts it, of course, because of the financial implications. I mean, you get paid a whole lot more to be a champion than to be a challenger, fighting for a vacant title in the UFC's light heavyweight division. So, he's there and he's the champ, but man, this is tough for Daniel Cormier, and I think he'll get over it. And I think a big part of his, I guess, acceptance or, looking back on this very later in life, it will be down to that question that I asked him, and that'll be, do you believe he cheated? Because I think, and I don't want to put words in Cormier's mouth, obviously, but, just as a human being, I mean, if you're able to say, okay, this guy took something because he didn't think he could beat me clean, that changes. That changes the fact that I lost to him twice, because then it's not a fair fight anymore. Then he is having an advantage. Then you can live with it a little bit more. But if more details come out and we know that Jon is really going to be pushing this tainted supplement defense, and depending on where that goes, then you're in a situation where then there's just this doubt. There's this doubt in Cormier's mind about the 2 biggest fights of his life, the 2 biggest fights of his career. So I think Cormier is definitely. Well, I know he's following this story as closely as anybody. He wants to see what happens with Jon Jones's defense, which, by the way, no update yet. They're still in the process of testing those supplements, waiting for results to come back. But I think a lot of that is going to play into how Daniel Cormier looks back on it. And in the meantime, Arda, I got to say, I'm not really excited about any of his fights. I'm not excited about, not about Daniel Cormier's fights, but it's hard to get excited about Daniel Cormier going out and defending the light heavyweight title against who? Volkan Oezdemir?
Would you rather see him go to heavyweight again? Face Stipe for the title? Hey, that's what Dana White said was happening with Jones. I mean, yeah. Cormier may not be the same draw level as Jon Jones, but he's definitely up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, from right after UFC 214, I said that I thought Cormier's future had to be in heavyweight. Either that or retire, because it just didn't make sense for him to stick around in light heavyweight. Well, now it kind of does. And from a financial standpoint, and let's not forget, these guys are human beings. They're taking care of their families. They want to make money. I mean, why? If you were Daniel Cormier, would you want to go up and fight Stipe Miocic? I'm sure a big part of you would. However, if you could just fight the Ozdemirs of the world, which I'm not trying to discredit Volkan Ozdemir, he's had some great wins in the UFC, obviously, but I think Daniel Cormier storms through Volkan Ozdemir. And Alexander Gustafsson, that's a rematch out there, but we saw that fight. What's happened with Jon Jones has removed a lot of the excitement about this division. And that's just unfortunate. And in the meantime, Daniel Cormier, he could defend this belt. How many times? 2, 3, 4 times, and he's getting paid as a champion? Like, why not? Why wouldn't he do that?